Welcome back to CBS Mornings. The city of Minneapolis is paying nearly $9 million to settle two lawsuits alleging more violent behavior from the officer who went on to kill George Floyd. Derek Chauvin is currently serving a 22-year sentence for his role in Floyd's death and a 21-year sentence for violating Floyd's rights. Now, body cam footage has been released from two more violent arrests back in 2017, amid allegations his actions against Floyd were part of a pattern. Lilia Luciano has more. A warning, the footage is disturbing.
This how black people get treated.
Zoya Code was arrested in Minneapolis in June of 2017, accused of attacking her mother.
Take my glasses off. Ow!
Newly released video shows Derek Chauvin, the same officer convicted for the murder of George Floyd, dragging and carrying her while she's handcuffed, her arms outstretched behind her back.
Ow! That's how you gonna slam me on the ground?
Chauvin slams Code face first on the ground and kneels on her neck for 4 minutes and 42 seconds. The same move he used 3 years later for 8 minutes and 46 seconds with George Floyd. They were not the only ones. Another plaintiff was John Pope Jr. In 2017, he was 14 years old.
You're under arrest, so stay up.
I'm not under arrest.
When Chauvin and other officers went into his bedroom, Pope pleaded with officers, alleging his mother was drunk when she called law enforcement.
You can't touch me in my own house.
Get up now.
You can't touch me in my own house.
Former Officer Chauvin and Alexander Walls violently wrestled Pope to the ground. Chauvin almost immediately grabbed Pope by the neck and struck him with his flashlight.
You hurting me!
Then a chokehold and a knee to the neck, not for 4 or 8, but for 15 minutes.
I did fear for my life and my safety throughout the encounter.
Pope says the experience is still with him, even after the $7.5 million settlement. Now he's in college studying criminal justice in the hopes that he can bring about change.
The system has a major flaw in it that needs work to be done. And it's not going to get done just talking about it. It's going to get done with solutions.
2 years after the killing of George Floyd in 2022, a report by the state's Department of Human Rights concluded that the Minneapolis Police Department creates a culture that results in unnecessary escalation and/or excessive force during encounters.
We are dealing with the ugly consequences stemming from a systemic failure within the Minneapolis Police Department.
Legal analyst Joe Tamburino says these lawsuits show how those acknowledgments came far too late.
If the Minneapolis Police Department would have paid attention to excessive use of force by officers like Mr. Chauvin back in 2017 and years before that, then Mr. Floyd likely would not have been murdered.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Lilia Luciano.
Footage speaks for itself. I mean, you can see it. We can all see it with our own eyes, his actions. And I think what that gentleman just said, if the Minneapolis Police Department had been investigating or at least been aware, and if they were aware, had done something about this, George Floyd might be alive.
You also wonder, what can other departments across the country learn from this? And you look at that body cam footage, is that being looked at in other departments, whether it's called for or not, to look at video like that and say, we may have a problem here?
When police do something on a call and no one says anything about it, it becomes like there's a sense that Derek Chauvin thought that was okay, that was standard practice, and then it leads to the conclusion we've all seen and covered for years now.
Now he's behind bars.